Idle minds are a dangerous thing. Bored minds are a dangerous thing. And it is quite obvious that NHL, even with the draft tomorrow, and NFL fans are quite bored.
And some writers also have too much time on their hands right now.
Well, they're playing into it, right? They're getting the clicks. It's crazy season in the NFL right now. There's no OTAs for us to overreact to. There's no mini camps for us to overreact to. There's no draft coming up. No free agency really to deal with, at least not much. So it is crazy season. And here's my PSA: enjoy it if you want to, but understand what's going on. Don't take it too seriously. This all started for me earlier this month when I don't even know if I want to. I don't even know if I want to put on like their names, but actually they wrote it, right? They're proud of it. They published it. Bailey Bassett from Yahoo Sports earlier this month suggested that if the Atlanta Falcons were looking to trade Kyle Pitts, the former 4th overall pick tight end, going into the final year of his rookie deal, if the Falcons were to trade Kyle Pitts because a change of scenery seems potentially positive for him, the Panthers would make sense. The Carolina Panthers. And I laughed and I joked and I said, not only would I not want Kyle Pitts, I darn sure would not want Kyle Pitts in a trade with someone in the division. But I thought, all right, that's a one-off, right? Maybe Bailey was just, he woke up on the goofy side of the bed that day and he was telling silly stories.
He was feeling silly.
As my 4-year-old would say, he's a silly goose. But then just a couple of days ago, Bleacher Report, Chris Knox, and this is cited on a bunch of different blogs, Travis Etienne, trade target for the Carolina Panthers. And here, I'm going to read it word for word. With Etienne entering the final year of his rookie contract, the Jags could erase his entire $6.1 million cap hit by trading him. Liam Cohen, their new coach, might not be eager to part with him before even coaching a regular season game. Jacksonville might be willing to dump him for a reasonable offer anyway. The Panthers have 2 capable backs in Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. They might also have some interest in Etienne. Carolina already drafted his younger brother, Trevor Etienne, in April and employs running backs coach Bernie Parmalee. Parmalee was Jacksonville's running backs coach during Etienne's 2 best seasons. Keep in mind, now this is me talking. Etienne has only had 3 seasons.
I mean,
so his 2 best seasons are also just the 2 seasons where he wasn't injured for most of the season like he was last year. Needless to say, I don't want Travis Etienne on the Panthers. You're already paying Chuba Hubbard a bunch. You already drafted his brother in the 4th round. You already brought in a 1,000-yard rusher from last year in Rico Dowdle. You don't need running backs. You definitely don't need to buy running backs in the trade market. And you definitely don't need to buy running backs in the trade market from Jacksonville.
Now I'm falling right into their trap. Just imagine what world we would be living in if the Carolina Panthers running back room consisted of Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, Travis Etienne Jr., his brother.
It would be,
who was the other one that you mentioned?
There's Dowdle, there's Chuba, there would be 2 ETNs. I think that's it. Oh, they have Jonathan Brooks who's hurt.
Jonathan Brooks, yeah.
It'd be it's what's dumb. See, we're doing it. Know where you're going. Dip your toe in, but know where you're going. And then lastly, this one was by accident. So I read the Chris Knox report and I laughed, and then I decided now let's talk about this on the show, right? Let's make sure let's call out the silly so everybody knows, nobody's surprised by it. And I forgot where I had read the Travis Etienne thing originally, so I Googled something like, Panthers trade rumors. And the first one that popped up came from Sports Illustrated. Zach Roberts of Sports Illustrated wrote this about Taysom Hill, the quarterback / special teamer / tight end / running back / old guy for the New Orleans Saints.
The Swiss Army knife for the Saints, pretty much.
He wrote this. Taysom Hill is reportedly on the verge of being cut by the New Orleans Saints, a team that has been brutally fighting with the salary cap for years. To free up space, they could cut Hill, who would be of interest to most teams. The Panthers should be one of them.
Okay, no knock to any Carolina Panthers fan or to the Carolina Panthers as to themselves, but what world would you want to live in where you pick up a guy that got cut from a team that plays in the NFC South?
And quite frankly, is a unique fit. It took them years to figure out how to use Taysom Hill, and you're just going to drop him in and be like, we need you to be a tight end. Can you block the backside on an outside zone? Like, no. So I acknowledge, if it's just, hey, the NFL draft was what, April, 2 months ago now? And the training camp doesn't start for a month. We're in this Bermuda Triangle where you don't have if you just want to go out there and acknowledge what you're doing is just a fun deal, right? If you want to go to Vegas and you just want to, I know this isn't how I normally live, but today, bottle service. But it's not you. You're just having fun. Go ahead.
You're just racking up points on the credit card that you're going to have to pay off eventually.
There you go. The credit card statement does not stay in Vegas. Or even better, Graham, because you're here, and it flows when Graham's here. We make movie references.
There it is.
Have you seen The Pursuit of Happiness?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Will Smith coming out crying in the middle of the people. It's such a great scene.
Oh, yeah. A young Jaden Smith. There's a scene where he is trying to woo a rich guy to, like, he's some kind of stockbroker, broker, financial broker. He wants to manage the money of a rich guy, and he thinks he's wooing him. Right? They go to a football game together. They're in the box together. Their kids are playing with each other. They're talking about the Niners. They're having themselves a heck of an afternoon. And as the afternoon winds down, Will, his character, Chris, I think, finally says, like, so I'd love to talk to you about, moving your money over to the company that I'm interning with, whatever. And the rich guy kind of chuckles and goes like, we can have fun. We can go to games. Like, you're a nice guy. The kids get along. We can do this, but I'm not going to seriously consider letting you handle my money. No, this was just an afternoon at the park. If that's what you're doing with these ridiculous trade takes or these ridiculous pickup takes or these ridiculous free agency takes, sure, right? If you're just out there, no, we're going to the park. We're gonna go catch a game. You're a good guy to throw back a couple brewskis with, but I'm not gonna let you actually make decisions with my roster. I'm not serious about trading for a depreciating asset from inside the division. There's a few moves. And I'll give you a couple examples. A few, like literally, you can count them on one hand. Moves that make a bit of sense for the Panthers to make between now and training camp. If you want to go grab a veteran free safety, somebody that's available, a Justin Simmons, something like that, okay, we can talk about it, right? We can have that conversation. If the Dolphins get to such a point of no return with somebody like Jalen Ramsey, where they'll take literally a crumpled up piece of trash in a trade for him just to get him off their books. If you have the cap space, we can talk about it. I probably still wouldn't be about it, but we can talk about it. There is no world where we can talk about Kyle Pitts unless we're just playing. We're just having fun. We're doing the no. You know, it would be really crazy if we traded for Kyle Pitts. That could happen. And then other than that, if you want to grab depth, you want to grab an edge rusher, you want to grab depth piece. There's some veteran out there, or even a young guy that gets cut surprisingly from another team. You want to scoop him up. Like, we can talk about the shuffle, the window dressing on the roster. But other than that, like, your roster is what it is at this point. You don't go into the offseason with, hey, we've got, these 6 things we have to do, and we'll save 2 or 3 of them until after free agency is done and the draft is done. You go into it with, hey, we got like 6 things to do. We got to have answers for them by the time free agency and the draft are both over. You can't be like, we're Kyle Pitts away. No, Kyle Pitts. Goodness gracious. Travis Etienne, goodness gracious. And by the way, I'm at times, I've been a big ETN fan. I think he was unbelievable at Clemson. I'm not downgrading the players we're talking about. I'm downgrading the fit with the Panthers, particularly, I guess not in the Taysom Hill case, but particularly giving up anything of value for them. Goodness gracious.